And checking back in with the novella that no one asked about, but I do love. What's going on with your haircut, soap opera?
So my hairstylist is away on Fire Island because that's his.
I mean, that's self-explanatory for the people who do know what Fire Island is. But let's explain it for the people who don't. Fire Island is a getaway.
Not exclusively. It does attract other genres.
In fuego.
On fire, indeed.
Yes. So he's away.
He's away.
And Lewis will play.
No, I specifically asked for his permission to make sure.
Oh, you got to check in with the Clipper Daddy.
It was okay to get a haircut outside the circle.
Oh, so you got a hall pass.
But kind of, sort of.
And what happened?
I'm going back to my school. I didn't want that hall pass anymore.
Oh, you miss him.
It just wasn't the same.
Te extraño.
Oh, wow. That's really good.
You like it? Yeah.
Where'd you get that?
The tilde? I found it somewhere.
No, the word.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I listened to a lot of Romeo Santos.
I thought you were going to go, because you were in Cali, it was going to be Selena. So it's just like.
No. Selena, I only know the English song. Yeah, that's it.
The slow one, the ballad?
Yeah. Is that in the room? I don't know.
No.
Yeah.
Sleeping in my room.
What?
I don't know. I remember right now. I'm drawing a
Is
blank.
Clipper Daddy on your mind?
Too much.
I think so. But your haircut looks good.
Yeah. I walked in. I got a recommendation from someone about like where to get my haircut, and I was like, "Give me."
And for the record, this is one of those things where it's like if you don't say anything, I know you get in your feelings a little bit. So I got to be like, "Oh my God, your hair looks so good."
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you for noticing.
I know, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm
not
just
a
like,
diva at all.
So I approached people with a similar type of haircut, and I'm like, "Hey, fuck boys, where do you get your fuck boy haircut?" And now it's just like.
That's what you pointed to? You're like, I want to look like that. Huh.
Goals.
Yeah. That is weird, right? We see that in fitness a lot, and I actually feel that way too when you like lose or gain weight, right?
Yeah,
As you lose weight, you're like waiting for someone to compliment you.
Yeah.
And when it doesn't happen, you're just like, it's like, can you just, do I look different to you?
I actually did that to someone the other day, and I was just like, So I've been teaching more boxing classes. I've been riding my bike more. Do you see any difference?
Like you build it up with all these different activities that you've been up to just to see if they'll like finish it.
You're forcing the perspective.
Yeah.
It's like, I want this narrative to go like this.
Yes.
Oh, why thank you.
Yeah. Forced compliments are always fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You look great.
Thank you.
Yeah. Welcome
Thank
to
you.
the More Than Meatheads podcast. This is Shane.
And Lewis.
And you can find us on Instagram at more_than_meatheads. On Facebook, we are More Than Meatheads. And then I believe on YouTube, yep, More Than Meatheads.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the interwebs, it's More Than Meatheads.
.com.
Thatmeans.com. You can also find our affiliates. I think we have a plural on that now. We'll get into more of that later. But for now, if you want some clean, great tasting supplements, I don't know the Spanish word for supplements. I would have thrown it in there if I did. Go to Earth.
I think you just added OS at the end.
Supplemento.
There you go.
Go to earthfedmuscle.com / more than meatheads for 10% off or the best discount that they have going. So any point in time you can save by just name dropping us. You know, it's like you go to the club that everybody wants to go to. You skip the line and you just go, hey, bouncer, you know, More Than Meatheads. You know us.
Try that. Please let us know how that goes.
Like, any club you go to, and just film it actually, and we'll see what happens.
Put it on selfie and just be like, hey, bouncer, More Than Meatheads.
And he'd be like, okay.
Yeah, you calling me that?
Does More Than Meatheads have a 20 along with it that I'll let you in with? If not, then get to the back of the line. But speaking of shout-outs and different name drops you can find Lewis at multiple obstacle course races now that it is obstacle course race season.
Yes, Queens. I don't know why. Sorry.
Well, that bears to mind. Now, what races were you doing? Now I need to know.
Sign up for the mermaid race.
You're like, I just made it my own. I just bounced from one to the other.
Just keep swimming.
The first obstacle was my endurance. What? But
I'm a pescatarian.
Oh, all right. So you can find him on any race out there that's going, and if you do find him, he will have a GoPro on him, and you can talk about the podcast and see how you're doing, and we're going to start doing some video shout outs. We're going to do some
Gonna be
interviews.
Johnny on the spot. With
Yes, you will be. And I will be Johnny sitting on my ass in the kiosk waiting for you after the race because I ain't doing that crap.
But just encouraging you. You're going to be that soccer mom on the side. You can do it.
I will have Capri Suns waiting.
Ooh.
Yes, there you go. I'll be the
Nice.
team mom for More Than Meatheads, but that's about it. So how was your race? What race did you do, first of all? And tell me all about it.
Had a nice little mini road trip and went up to Massachusetts for a bone frog race. And only signed up for the...
So the company's called Bone Frog?
The company is called Bone Frog because it is run and created by Navy SEALs. So that alone gives you an idea of what you're in for because like Navy SEALs are known to be some of the toughest soldiers on the face of the planet. So it's not going to be simple training and it's not going to be a simple course either. So this was...
but it wasn't any water obstacles, correct?
Not on...
I know it seems like a layman's question, but
No,
I
not
literally...
at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. But it is still what I would consider a dirty race because you're out in the field. You're out... It was... it's such a cool name for a mountain. It was called Thunder Mountain, where the ski resort is.
Thunder from Down Under?
That's the side hustle.
Oh, okay.
But it's Thunder Mountain Road is Thunder Mountain ski resort.
It sounds like a country song.
That's Country Mountain Road.
Oh.
But I signed up for the shorter version, which is just the sprint length of the race, which claims to be 3+ miles. What they don't tell you is the number that follows that plus, which was 3 + 3. So it felt like a 6-mile race. And then also what they don't share on the map is the elevation gain. Now, elevation gain means that, for example, arbitrary number here, the peak of the mountain, the summit, was about 700 feet. But then you go back down. And then you go back up. So it's another 700 feet. And then you go back down. And then you go back up. So you gained an elevation.
It's only 700 feet. Like
in a clip.
Yeah.
But you're doing that clip 3 times.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. So the elevation gain was over 2,000 feet. So it wasn't just like, just straight shot of 2,000 feet up. So that was pretty arduous. And this was our producer's first dirty race in that sense of just hitting the trail. And because she's been in training, she's been doing more exercises to get herself stronger for the obstacles.
Yeah, I saw her in pressure yesterday.
Yeah.
Doing some work, some functional movement work.
Yeah. She's trying to build up that endurance and that upper body strength as well. And grip, which is very, very, very important for the obstacles, as you'll see.
That's a hot topic on podcast right now, is grip training.
Is it?
Yeah,
Is it really?
it is.
It is.
You can come back to our podcast, one of the previous ones that you explained all about it. Was it 2 podcasts ago?
Oh, yeah, just about. Yeah, because it was for the City Challenge race. And
for your hot take. But keep going.
And there will be a YouTube video that corroborates everything that I'm saying with regards to grip strength training. Because
video evidence.
Yes, because I'll be putting it up later today on our YouTube channel of the race.
More Than Meatheads.
Yes. But with regards to the actual race, she thought that the obstacles would be super challenging because, that's been her experience.
And it's an obstacle course race, so that's what you think about is the obstacles themselves. You go
Absolutely.
on. That's
It's
what
in
they
the title.
highlight.
It's
That's
in
what
the
they.
title.
You
Yeah,
just see
yeah.
the different obstacles.
Yeah. And so it was actually this. We've gone on hikes before just to give her that exposure of just like uneven terrain, what your ankle goes through, what your foot might go through, what the rest of your body may go through. Because there have been times that I go on hikes and I press through my heel on an uneven surface, and all of a sudden my glutes cramping. I'm like, ooh, that's kind of weird. That's kind of awkward. But I'm already exposed to that. This elevation at certain points was almost at a 45-degree angle. So it was pretty steep. And it was they named the trail as an obstacle. And it was called, I believe it was called Road to Valhalla. And it was just, you don't hear anyone. All you hear is heavy breathing of just people walking by.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't that death?
No, Valhalla is Viking heaven.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No. We're saying the same thing. Road to heaven would be dying.
Yeah, well, but do you really know that you're dead, though? That's the thing. It's a nicer place than where you were before.
What, are you running through your hands through fields of wheat like in Gladiator? Like what?
Aegean Fields?
Yeah, like is that what's happening?
Elysian Fields, I think it's.
Oh.
But it was very it was a very learned experience to go through that, and she showed a lot of grit and determination because you can't tell someone what they're going to go through. It's almost like when I've heard descriptions of ayahuasca. It's like everyone, you go on your own trip. So for her, it was very challenging.
Yeah, and the good thing about obstacle course racing is that it really is, depending on which one you do, right? It is really a test. It is really hard work.
Yes.
I mean, it's where if it's the rubber meets the road type of thing, or the fitness influencer meets its demise.
It's maker.
You know what I mean? Like,
been talking all this shit about us.
So it's one of those things where you can't really. It's either you can do it or you can't.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're not gonna prepare. You're not gonna get there in a day. And so this is kind of like a step in getting better and better. Just like when you first started. Everybody, when they first start, they just complete their first one.
Shit.
Yeah.
It's a fork in the road.
And you got to pick yourself back up and do the next one, I decided to stay. Decided to stay on that road and just die. But you decided to keep going. And just like our producer there, she's gotten better. She did which one first? The City Challenge?
The City Challenge.
City Challenge, and now
she looks back at the City Challenge like, oh, that was cute.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly the evolution that you would hope to have as well.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, if I went back to the City Challenge, it wouldn't be as challenging. You know,
so
there might be elements of it that still might
no
be
matter
tough.
no matter what obstacle course race you choose or a challenge you go for, it's something new, and you're gonna suck at first.
Yeah,
and the goal for the next one,
the suck.
Yeah, the goal for the next one is just to be less terrible.
And have it suck less.
You're not gonna be good for a while, but that's okay. Going into it knowing that's part of the process. Just like learning a new skill in anything, don't let your ego get in the way. Get some good takeaways from it. I'm sure she has some things that you being training her now, like you have some things that you can work on, right?
Absolutely.
And so be prepared for the next one.
Absolutely. So now we get to go back to our notes and look at and just deconstruct of like, okay, this is what we need to work on. There's always going to be a cardio element. There's going to be some sort of strength element.
And how did you do? How did you do with that elevation gain that you're talking about? How did you do being an asthmatic?
It's very
because I actually got this question in pressure.
It's very circumstantial because there's so many X factors involved when it comes to.
With someone with asthma, can they do obstacle course racing?
Absolutely.
Obviously, we're not doctors. We're not saying that. But it's a medical condition. Yes, but
there's different levels of sensitivity to asthma. So some people are triggered by exercise-induced asthma. Some people are triggered by grass, pollen. Animal fur asthma. So it's all asthma is just simply a trigger to an allergic reaction to something. So it all depends upon the person. The only thing that you can do is actually in a controlled manner put yourself through it and expose yourself to it and then learn how to deal with it. My asthma has actually been getting better because I think it's because I've just been doing more cardio on a consistent basis with my bike and just exposing myself to it. And then just learning how to control and also better breathing patterns.
So just gradual exposure over time, and you'll be able to progress.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea is that, just like you said, take notes. And we're not asking you to bring like a 5-star notebook, throwback, to the race and actually physically take notes. But it's one of those things where, if you want to get better at something, you have to be at least break down that barrier of being conscious of what the incompetency is.
Yes.
And
where are you lacking?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so now once you're at that awareness level, then it's like, what are you going to do about it? And that actually feeds into what I wanted to talk about today of being aware, because I just got back from California.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
Okay. Sunshine.
Yeah. I just got back from California, and that would consist of a week and a half worth of travel circumstances. And I know you've done a lot of traveling. You have a lot more experience in this than I do. And you mentioned that you come back leaner.
Yeah.
Where a lot of people will go, they'll blow up.
Mm-hmm.
I got a couple clients actually right now. They're in Mexico. They're saying they're carb loading for their weigh-in when they get back, so that way they have like their before picture. They can make as much improvement as possible. I was like, well, that's unhealthy behavior that I'm not going to support, but awesome.
And also, not how that works.
Yeah, not how it works at all. But it's whatever they want to do. But you actually have. When now that things are opening back up and travel is an option again, people are going to start to do that. and what can they do to actually maintain their hot girl summer body while they're traveling?
Well, the suggestions that I would give is train accordingly before you head out. Like, also do your research as to what's going to be available to you wherever it is that you're going. For example, when I went to Croatia, not really known for its gyms, or at least not where I was going to be. When I was in Dubrovnik, I wasn't going to find a gym to go work out for for a day. Nor was I going to make the effort to look for one, because it's like also like, relax, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Which is a major component when you're away in terms of your fitness.
Some people got OCD with that.
Exactly. But I knew that I would supplement it with the amount of walking that I was going to do, the amount of activities that I would be involved in. When I was in Croatia, I was easily walking about 10 miles a day, every day, sometimes with every single possession that I had with me on that trip on my back.
Yeah, so first you have to quantify what it is, what work will be done as a function of the travel. So if you're on a vacation or some type of excursion where there's going to be hiking or a lot of walking around, you don't necessarily have to worry that much about sets and reps. But if you want to feel like you're in a Corona commercial, and you're going to be on the beach with your feet up the entire time, well, now maybe we're going to have to make sure that hotel has a gym.
Now, when I was in Thailand and I was in Phuket, the resort had a gym. And I was that guy that would go every morning to the gym and go work out before breakfast, and then go to breakfast and then hang out with everyone else, poolside, drinking, and everything else.
And you actually got more out of it that way,
I actually
correct?
got more out of it. So what happens to me on vacation is, because now my usual levels of stress are gone. I'm away, and I am making the best out of it. I am enjoying it. This is what I enjoy doing. So naturally, cortisol levels, stress chemicals just drop in my body. And now I can actually enjoy my food more and enjoy my activity, and I'm just more relaxed. All said and done, after a week of being out and about and moving and activities and everything else, I come back like recharged and leaner and happier. I'm like, oh, this is perfect. This is what vacation should be. It shouldn't be like, where it was just a gluttonous event.
Well, that's the issue, right? Is that we start with, if we're for everybody taking notes out there. So you need to know what kind of vacation you're going on, and what life are we leading right now that's going to build up to this vacation or travel plans, right? It doesn't have to be a vacation, but some type of get away from your norm. Now, is that an escape because your norm is so unhealthy?
Yeah.
Unhealthy could be, you could be on paper, the healthiest in the world, but your stress levels are so high
But
that
your mental health is somewhere else. Yeah.
So now that when you disconnect, you're gone. You're off the reservation. Like you're just gonna go, like you said, gluttonous. Like you're just gonna get how many sins? Okay, I'm gonna do all of them. That's what your day looks like.
Vanity.
Yeah. So what we need to do is, if that is the issue, that you're taking this travel to just escape reality, and it might as well be just a Netflix situation where you just want to check out.
You might as well just do a staycation, and if that's going to be your
route.
route.
Like let's just relax a little bit and let's figure that part out first. So we're talking to the people that want to at least maintain their fitness level and not dig themselves in a hole when they come back. So quantify what kind of travel it is, see where you're at and where you can get this walking beforehand. It's almost like you're planning ahead.
Yeah. I've always been, I wouldn't label myself as a free spirit per se, but I would never really label myself as
Not all those who wander are lost.
Okay.
I don't know.
No, that's a famous quote. I'm trying to remember where that's from. But I was also not the most organized of people for many, many years. I'm not the most now either. But it's gotten better in the sense of when I'm traveling, I would see that as what a lot of people that work out would call as a deload week, where I would still work out, but I'm not looking to hit a max on my flat bench or a squat or anything like that. It was more like, all right, this is just maintenance work where I'm just going to do some exercise, some activity to just get my motion. And then,
you're not looking to lift all the weights.
Yeah, also not a good idea when you're on vacation and you're not familiar with the environment.
Or you might be dehydrated from
I was snorkeling.
Consumption.
Yeah, when I was in Belize, I went snorkeling for 3 hours. And I was just impressed that I didn't pull a hamstring. I'm like, I don't swim. I float like a stone. So
Wait, yeah, do you swim?
no, but I had a life preserver on.
Oh,
So
okay. I was wondering about that.
And I was impressed that I was able to keep up with the tour guide the entire time and not get tired because I was pacing myself and I had properly been hydrating and doing everything else that I needed to in order to be okay on that. And there were people that just went back to the boat. They couldn't hang for the entire snorkeling tour.
Well, yeah, if you've had nothing but Long Island iced teas, I don't think you're going to last that long in the water.
Yeah,
I mean, how long before you're supposed to wait a half hour after you eat?
Yeah, give or take. Yeah.
Like how long are you supposed to wait after you're drunk? Like I don't know if that's going to work out too well.
Your next trip. That's how long.
Okay.
But like for example, that was an intense activity that you're out in the sun, you're in salt water, and then you're snorkeling as well. So it's like that trifecta right there. It's gonna wipe you out if you're not ready for it.
So the recovery aspect is huge because you don't want to come back and already spent more than when you like if you're supposed to be, like you said, recharge, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what you said in the sun, right? I'm an authority on this subject of paleness. So if you're in a city,
You sweet alabaster son of a bitch.
I kind of like that intro. So if you're in a city all day long, or you're indoors, you're at a desk, right, and you're just dreaming about this place that you're going to go on vacation or travel.
'Cause I'm dreaming.
Yes, thank you for the background music.
Of you tonight. That's the Selena song.
It is. I know. Circling back. So if you're in this position, right, you're probably not getting a lot of vitamin D, right? That's when the supplementation is very important. Just as a society in general, vitamin D is
Very deprived.
Yes.
The D stands for deprived.
Yeah. So now you're going to be getting this, but with the sun, I don't know how many people stay out in the sun for multiple hours a day, but if you're not used to it, especially, it takes a lot out of you.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you mix that with, say, any type of intoxication or whatever that then furthers the dehydration aspect of it, yes, the recovery component is not going to be there. That's why when you go into travel and you know, okay, this is what I'm doing this day, like plan it out. Obviously, you want to make the most of your days. Within that structure should be exercise and hydration.
Yeah.
For you, like you're saying, is that this first thing in the morning. When I was in California, my brother gets up at 4 every day, and I made it a point that even if I didn't work out with him necessarily,
up with him.
I went to the gym with him. I went to the gym with him, and maybe all I did was some active recovery work, and that was our time to catch up and hang out a little bit. But during he's working out, I'm stretching out, that kind of thing. I had that structure in place, so that way every day started off with some type of exercise, and I was making sure the first thing I did when I got up in the morning was drink a liter of water. And then after that, it's game on.
Yeah.
But at least I have that foundation.
Yeah, because then now it's already in your system. And then having that routine, even while you're on vacation, is also a game changer. Of like, you're making the best out of it. I've seen so many vacations ruined because people just threw all sorts of structure out the window. And I get that because they probably lead highly, highly stressful lives and just couldn't handle, the freedom that they were now exposed to. And they didn't properly plan it out.
Yeah. So with that planning, right? So that's the wake up component, right? If you wake up earlier, you're going to be. Not everybody has to be an early bird.
Yeah.
Right?
Not everyone has to be Jocko.
No.
And wake up at 3:46 in the morning.
But there is statistical evidence. I just saw this for depression. There's going to be the numbers for depression are way lower in people that get up earlier versus stay up later. And it's going to be, there's nothing better than on some type of travel or vacation, like seeing the sunrise and being a part of that.
Yeah.
You wake up, you're like, oh, I'm a 3rd level Reiki healer. Like, I'm grounded with the earth.
The universe feeds me.
Yes.
It's like, no, my ass is going to the buffet. That
feeds
me.
Definitely. So waking up a little bit earlier, obviously you don't have to set your alarm on vacation, but if you can structure your day that way and kind of get in, and also helps with jet lag, the circadian rhythm aspect of it, of getting a rhythm with where you're at without the little woohoo stuff. Actually getting the rhythm of the time zone you're in, and it'll actually help with that recovery component.
I don't do jet lag.
There's a lot of things you don't do. There's just a lot of things that just don't apply to you.
Soap.
Yeah. That is true, actually. That's gonna be hard to explain. Just to come down to pressure and see us, and you'll find out his natural musk. Anyway, but if you're looking
No,
at
it was that time you spent the night and they're like you didn't find.
here we go.
Okay.
So if you're looking at nutrition component to this, right? You don't want to be that guy that is on diet, on vacation, or travel. You don't need to be that guy. But what would be nice is if, just like if you're exercise, right, be aware, be cognizant of what's going on. If I know that I'm going away for, say, like I'll take my past, obviously it wasn't necessarily vacation. I was there for other reasons.
Yeah.
But if I take my travel experience, my recent travel experience, right, say we take a week, I know out of that week, I'm going to go what would be called off diet, where I'm going to completely relax 2 days out of the week.
Yeah.
So on those other days, I'm at maintenance level calories, or maybe in a caloric deficit to make up for the total calories for the week. Because that's the tricky thing about diets and social media dieting. 24 hours isn't magical. It's not like, okay, then we reset the clock on calories and this is how many you get for 24 hours. It's over a consistent...
It's more like rollover minutes.
Exactly. Actually, yeah. If people still have those, I don't know. But
I'm on a limited plan. I just keep going.
Yeah, it's just like that is literally what it is. It's a strategy of rollover minutes versus like Obama phone, and it's not just all free because you're gonna end up in a bad place. It's not like, but as far as minutes are concerned and calories that we're talking about in this case, right? It over, say, let's take a week's time. You extrapolate out those calories you have for the day, and that's your budget. And within your budget, you can definitely go all out, go on a spending spree 2 days out of the week, but then the other days need to reflect that. And that's how you come back leaner. That's how you come back at least staying the same, right? And there are multiple tools to do that. And we actually just partnered with one.
It's a game changer.
It's a game changer. And we actually had him on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nick Shaw. And
Shout out
Dr.
to
Mike Israel. We're just
the whole company.
I was going to say we're in bed with these guys, but that's kind of a weird promo. But RP Strength. We are now affiliate with. Yes, you can save some cash on their RP Strength app, which will then track your calories, and not just track your calories, but then coach you as far as making adjustments from week to week.
And it's also considerate in the sense that it remembers that you're human and putting in the work, where it'll even calculate and give you time to just like, okay, see you in a week. Go eat what you want.
And that's what we're talking about, is being able to stay structured, stay on point. Obviously, you don't need to use this app to be successful within your diet or your diet goals.
But goddamn, it helps.
Yes, I'm saying that I'm all about efficiency, and that's what we're on this podcast, is that we're trying to make things as easily accessible to the general public to improve performance as much as possible.
But you still got to do the damn work.
There is some work involved, right? So you can go to, the link is RP app, and the code is MTM.
Ooh, I like that.
They shortened it up for us.
We're learning our lessons via the other affiliates. Like, that's damn long.
Yeah, it's a long name.
So what is it one more time?
So the RP app, we're putting it on our bio for our Instagram at more_than_meatheads on Instagram, and we'll put that link up there. But it's the RP app /code/MTM. So it's kind of wordy. They still made it wordy. It's weird. But you can go over there and save on your subscription, your initial cost of the subscription, so that way you can see exactly what we're talking about, where it's like those old school commercials, the more you know, right? Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. So the more you are aware of what you're putting in your body, the more you can make those adjustments, and that way you're like a superhero, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you can make these adjustments where you go away on vacation, travel. Everybody else blows up. They're at the buffet for how many hours at a time, especially now cruises are back. That's all you do.
Yeah, or the poolside drinks where you just drink all your calories.
Yeah, but if you're aware of what's going in, no one's telling you no.
Yeah.
It's not like listen, you're going to do what you want to do. That's fine. You earned this. But if we just make a couple adjustments within your program for the week, all of a sudden you come back and now you don't feel like you have to go work.
Took 3 steps back.
Yeah. If you go work off my vacation.
Your rebound was way worse. Yeah.
So we make it productive.
Yeah. Circling back a little bit also, it's also just about knowing what you're getting into, because I've run the gamut on all sorts of trips. I've done the vacation where I consider a vacation where the activity is I'm going to be sitting on the beach for the day, for days on end.
Yeah.
And that's a vacation. It's just complete relaxation. I've been on tours of a country where it's like, all right, I'm going to be hitting all these different spots. When I went to Italy, it was like Tuscany, the countryside, and it was Venice and Florence and Rome within 10 days.
And you went to the Olive Garden headquarters, correct?
Yeah, because when I'm there, I'm family. So, so that was a tour of Italy, basically. And then I visited cities where it's like, all right, it wasn't to get to know the city, but it was like I was hanging out with a friend and just hanging out a little bit when I was in Medellin. And I got to, just walk around a little bit of the city. I didn't really get to know it, but I knew what I was getting into in each trip. And then
That's Colombia.
Yes,
For
with
everyone.
an O.
Yes.
And then also I've been on trips where it's just like road trips are the worst when it comes to nutrition. Because it's
Gas
just...
station.
Yeah, gas station sushi is just like, okay, cool, this is me eating healthy. Because it's like, you're not going to find healthy options. You just got to, pun intended, you just got to eat it. You just got to eat it.
Nope. Deli meat and jerky and cheese sticks. That's the way to get through it.
It's very, very salty.
But it's high in protein. It's moderate fat and very low carbohydrate. See, considering that you're just sitting there, it's boring as hell.
Yeah, it's boring as hell.
But it'll get you there.
You're going to be drinking a lot of water.
It'll get you there,
to
dude.
wash it down, which
It'll
means
get you there.
every 3 hours, got to pull over to a gas station or somewhere to just
It's better than having your road trip sponsored by Entenmann's. Like, I mean, like, let's be real here. Like, you don't want to get to a place that you've been looking forward to and you're bloated.
Yeah. I was doing a lot of Wendy's chili.
Yeah. That's a very underrated menu option.
It's so good. They don't give out the crackers as much as they used to, but whatever.
Oh, man. Budgetary concerns of Wendy's.
Yeah, but also that's part of the planning and of knowing what you're going to get into in your travel. I'm not saying you have to do a Google search of like, what should I eat? Where should I eat? Just know what you're going to get into.
Or just ask us. I mean, hell, you've traveled the world.
Like fucking Carmen Sandiego, bro.
Yeah. And you will be going to San Diego pretty soon.
Yay! Tacos. That's what I'm looking forward to.
That's all that city's known for. There you go. No, in all seriousness, I know we're talking about good nutrition, but if you're going to Southern California, you need to have a Southern California burrito.
A SoCal burrito?
People out there know what I'm talking about.
I'm looking forward to
It's just meat and french fries, essentially, that are put in a burrito. It's amazing.
Oh, it's like a salchipapa, but rolled up.
Yeah.
Salchipapas are brutal, bro. That's perfect drunk food.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Plus, you're in San Diego, so you're just walking randomly on the street, and you're just like, oh, there's an orange tree. I'm going to eat that. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the random food trucks.
Yes, it is. So I'm California and a little bit of New York, not even that much, but mostly California and definitely just in the U.S., and you are international, sir. Mm-hmm. So if there are any questions out there about how to stay on the right path when you're off the beaten path,
I like that.
I just came up with it.
Yeah, look at that.
DM us at more_than_meatheads, and we will answer any and all questions. And if we don't know something, we will investigate.
And so we can learn something new.
Yeah.
Like, for example, no tuna in the tuna fish over at Subway's.
Okay, first of all, I wasn't going to get into this this early, but when it comes to our current event of the day. It sounded like you were eating a tuna fish sandwich. So I did some investigative journalism on this.
You mean you worked there? Isn't that more undercover?
First of all, undercover boss. Yes, I was an undercover employee while I was in Laramie, Wyoming. Yes, that did happen. I closed the Subway. That was at... they closed at 1 a.m. actually. Yeah, but
that's late.
I was an artisan. You are correct, sir. And then also, when I was younger, I frequented a Subway every time I worked my shift at Sears. So there's my work history. And I got the tuna fish sandwich. So
that was your go-to? Why the tuna fish? You didn't trust their deli meats?
Dude, all right. Full disclosure, I was so big during this time that anything that came out of an ice cream scooper, I was on board with. They ice cream scooped the tuna
I know.
fish. So I was like, okay, let's do this.
Yeah, if it's a 6-inch, it's 4 scoops.
We're doing a healthy podcast now, so let's not revisit these days. So with this, I had some stake in the game here because I was like, all right, well, what did I put in my body? Sometimes you wake up the next day and you're like, what happened? So reading this article here that came up, just an ordinary Google search, nothing crazy, right? It's from cnet.com.
Reliable.
Yeah. It's a little bit clickbait for me. The story is, the headline is that it's DNA tested. There is no tuna in the Subway
They
sandwich.
23 and me the tuna.
Yes.
We traced it back. Turns out.
It's Turkish. You're like, you have no idea. Like, you're like, what is this?
I didn't even know.
Yeah. So
Ma!
So what actually happened was they're actually getting sued, and that's where this comes from. They're actually the plaintiff is saying that there's no tuna in the tuna fish sandwich. So what the hell is it? And so that is the issue. This is not the first time that someone has a little background as someone has questioned what's in Subway's food. Do you remember that the same material that's in yoga mats used to be in their bread?
Ew.
Yeah. Now, it's a chemical component that is also used in yoga mats, but it was also in their bread.
Like, I know there's like carnauba wax and Tic Tacs. That's what gives it its shine.
It's essentially something like that, but the headline then goes, yoga mats are in Subway bread. You know what I mean? Like, since then they took that chemical out, obviously, after that bad press. But what happened was a commercial food testing lab analyzed more than 60 inches of Subway tuna sandwiches from 3 different Subway locations.
That's the standard to measure by.
It really is. At 3 different Subway locations in Los Angeles, it found that no amplifiable? Is that a word? Okay, no tuna DNA was present in the sample. All right. So this lab said this could mean one of 2 things. Either there's no tuna in the sandwiches, or whatever tuna is being used is so overly processed the lab couldn't make an identification. Okay. But this report, that's what everybody's running with on social media, right? So you can pick your favorite social media meme for this.
You skipped an I. It's amplifiable.
What? Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, that was
We're all learning stuff.
I just learned that word.
Yeah. Okay. So the report also noted that this isn't the only DNA test that's been done. All right.
Turns out someone already did the research.
Yes, and they did find tuna in the samples when they did do it, okay? So that's what I'm saying, that this is not quite all the way, all right?
Yeah.
Now,
It's not the last word.
my favorite is Subway sandwiches. If you guys weren't ready for a deep dive in Subway, sorry, here it is. My favorite is Subway sandwiches then came back, and their statement was amazing because they claim that...
Was it just basically, bitch, you eating at Subway?
Well, Subway claims that Subway restaurants serve 100% wild-caught cooked tuna, which is mixed with mayonnaise and used in freshly made sandwiches, wraps, and salads that are served to and enjoyed by our guests. That's the statement from Subway. But the actual case that's being brought to Subway, the plaintiffs themselves changed the claim. So this is what social media is not telling you. This is we're in it now. We're behind the scenes.
Yeah.
They changed the claim that they backed off the claim that there's no tuna in it. What they're saying is that in the filing, the complaint centered around whether or not Subway's tuna was 100% sustainably caught skipjack and yellowfin tuna. That's what's in court. All right. And so that's not what
Claiming the type of fish.
Yeah. And it's not 100% wild caught.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So,
It's like when they use imitation crab.
And when you actually look at the DNA testing, why are we DNA testing this? Because the company itself, Subway, this is the legal team, not the marketing team. Marketing team put out the BS statement before. Legal team is saying that DNA testing is not a reliable way to identify denatured proteins because they're already cooked before the test. So it's a denatured protein that you're trying to test for DNA. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So that's why the plaintiffs are now changing their claim to saying that it's not what you said. The claim by Subway is 100% wild caught. We're saying that it's not 100%. So that somehow goes to clickbait. What the hell is in there? There's no tuna. So I'm sorry that I know I feel like I'm defending Big Sandwich, but I have to give the honest perspective on this one. As a former employee and customer.
One Subway, always Subway.
You can't see this, but yes. But that was the current event. That was way too much detail.
Wow.
Don't get me started on the bread.
So, yeah. For the last two people listening.
Yeah. So pepperoncinis. So no, but yeah. So there you go.
All right. Is that how we're going to end it today?
Sorry, man. You asked me about it. Something that's near and dear to my
Jesus.
clogged heart.
Oh, man. Didn't know Subway would be such a trigger.
I'm ready.
But for real, though. That's
That's
it.
it.
All right, cool. All right, guys. That's it for today. Thanks for listening. And just remember, we try to keep it fun, functional, and factual because it's the only Fs that we give. Thanks for listening. Be kind to one another. Don't be assholes. Take care. Bye.